Hello everybody, it is Purple Nova and welcome back to Satisfactory. This is episode 11 of the series, so if you haven't seen the first 10 episodes, I suggest doing so. And if you kind of know how the game is, I would suggest, or kind of how the game works, I would suggest starting from episode 5, as it's kind of when things really kick off. So as you can see on the right side of kind of the screen, there's a little list of things. First off is the Orange Factory Tour, which we'll get into. Second is the Modular Frame Factory, which is another factory we're going to make. Episode 10 we made 3 different factories. We made iron plates and rods factory, a cement factory, and then a coal power plant. Then third on the list we got a reinforced plating factory, and then fourth is a copper factory, and fifth is a deuterium factory. First off is the Orange Factory Tour. So things might look a little different here at this factory compared to last time. Yeah, things have definitely changed. I had done some work in between episodes, and I didn't want to do too much, but I think I did too much. And yeah, I totally revamped this whole factory. It still produces the same amount of resources and still takes in the same amount of resources. That at least has not changed. But the factory itself has had a major uplift, and I have called it, I think the Orange Box Factory is its official name, just because it's kind of ugly. It's just a giant orange box, and there are little doorways. There's 3 of them where you can just walk in, and we got cables, we got wires. A little further down we have over here, which is our, what are these called? Smart platings. We got smart plating, we've got our, whatever this takes, our rotors, and then our iron plating, which is exciting. And then on the other side we've got, I don't know if this is symmetrical or not, I didn't really pay attention, but over here we got cement and iron plating. So I guess I'm starting off by catching you up on what happened in between episodes. So we got this giant factory that happened. Next we will check out the coal mine. Not the coal mine, the coal generator factory. So this is our coal generator factory. It creates power. I realized I had the piping wrong, and so I fixed it all. Now we got these 2 generators for these 6 pipes. Then this pipe or this water generator, whatever you call it, whatever these are, goes into the back. So in the front here, you now have 6 fully functioning coal generators, which take in the perfect amount of water and the perfect amount of coal and produce just the right amount of energy, and we don't have any problems with it there, which is really nice. Then the back side we've got 3 more, which I need to, let's see, I need to color that one. So there we go. Got that, nice and neat. So that is what's happened here at the coal generator factory. So also, as you can see, we now have there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 storage containers sitting right here, which means that we have 5 factories that are going to be made. First one is for a cement factory, the second one is for a reinforced plating factory, the third one is copper factory, modular frame factory, and deuterium mine factory, which is pretty cool if I do say so myself. So yeah, cement, something, yeah. But to start off, we are going to be making our modular frame factory, which we don't have a factory for that yet. All we're making are those like smart platings or whatever, and we have yet to make modular frames, and we need the modular frames because if we come over to our hub here, tier 3, these require to unlock any of our next stuff, like our vehicles or basic steel, they require modular frames, and we do not have any. We have the stuff to make rotors and reinforced plating and stuff. Well, not much reinforced plating, but we have stuff for that, but we don't have anything for modular frames, and we need modular frames, especially, yeah, that's what we're lacking right now. So we're gonna make a factory out of that, which we will go and do right now, since we have quite a bit of things on the good old to-do list to do. It sounded redundant. But anyway, we're going to be putting it like over there, south of kind of our main area. There's some nodes over there that produce, well, everything we need. I believe they're iron nodes. I think that's all you need is iron for modular frames, because it creates iron plates, screws, or iron plates, iron rods. Iron rods create screws, and then those screws and iron plates create reinforced plating, and the reinforced plating and iron rods create modular frames, which is very confusing. I have it all written down on a nice little piece of paper for me to know how the heck to make this factory. So yeah, I will meet you over there. Okay, so I realized that I had made a little bit of a mistake here. I thought that the two deposits that were right there, you can kind of see them pinging right there. I thought those two, there was one pure and one impure. That is not the case. Both of those are impure. These two back here are normal. So I have my logistics for this factory set up to be 150 iron ore per minute. That's just what I built it for. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it easy. We're going to take two of these normals, or both of these normals, and we're also going to take one of the impure deposits, combine them all, and then go from there. Yeah, it's... Whoops. So I'll figure out where I want this going. I'll lay the foundation, and I will meet you when I'm ready to put together this factory. All right, so we have our foundation down. It's 9 by 10, I believe, or at least it should be. Who knows? We can always shorten it. We can always do stuff with it. But we are going to place our first smelter. Hold control. Keep placing, and holding control locks them kind of to each other. I don't know how it works exactly, but I saw it. I've also been watching a little Satisfactory videos from a man called What Darren Plays, which, if you want to see some pretty brain-numbing stuff, go watch him. He's where I got the idea of the roads at, so that's why I'm mentioning him. It's a little shout out to him. Not that I'm nowhere near bigger than him. He's actually quite larger in terms of community than me, but we'll still give a mention to him since he's the reason why I've learned some of the tactics that I've learned and why I have thought of the whole highway idea. So we have our 9 smelters here, and next we need 9 constructors. Each of them has their own constructor. So we will take our constructors. Now, in terms of how these all connect together and everything, it's going to be quite a lot of conveyor belts and conveyor belt tomfoolery. So I'm going to give myself plenty of space to figure all that out when need be, because screw that on having to move all this stuff again. So yeah, we'll build our 9. I don't remember what all 9 go to. I have it written down. Again, I did all the math while I was building that big orange, the orange factory over there. I was doing it all. Also, before I forget, I want to show you the map. So I remember saying I would show you the map, and I have nicely began to label all of my stuff. So got our cement factory above, iron factory that's making iron plates and rods, orange box factory, that's what it's called. Then we also have our copper ingot factory making copper sheets, and then our coal power plant on the top. But this is quite a large map, so this will expand immensely, but I want to keep everything kind of tidy so that way when it does come to expanding across the whole entire map, I have a good start and a good idea of what I want to do with that. So these are our 9 constructors, and then these constructors, wow, we are towards the end of it. Cool. These constructors, we have, let's see. So these first 6 are all together. These are all part of one part of the factory. Then we need 2 constructors in the middle for these two. So we are going to do that. Come on, there we go. 1 and 2. Does that look good? Yes, it does. I'm okay with that. And then we need assemblers, which is number 4 on my hotkey bar, which is nice to have. And these are gonna go, we'll split this. So we got one, okay. Give me a second here to get my bearings. One right there. And then we'll do the other one. Kind of in line with that. Right there. And then we'll take our, give me a second. Take these things. Oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted. Place it right there. Sweet, you didn't place it right there. Cool. But we're going to take this all the way to here. I'll get a lot faster at this eventually. And one more. There we go. Give me enough space. And then we need some more assemblers, which are, give me a second. I'm learning the hotbar. You just gotta bear with me here. And we'll just put these go like along. We'll just put them like right here. And right here. Is that middle? That is. Okay. So what happens here? So those smelters will go into these constructors. Those to the constructors go into more constructors to make, I believe, screws. Then those then go into assemblers to create iron plates. And then the final constructors that aren't going into the assemblers go into these assemblers along with the iron plates, which then will create the modular frames. And we should make, what does it make? 2 per minute. We should be able to make 4 modular frames per minute. That's what this factory is set up for. And then on the other side, I forget what I was going to do here. I think the excess iron is going to be used for iron plating. Yeah, so we'll get 4 modular frames, and then the rest will go into an iron plating, which will be non-efficient. That's okay. This isn't fully efficient. I have percentages on what everything needs to run at in order for there to be a perfect kind of flow of materials throughout this whole entire factory. So I am going to, well, let's just define everything so that way you can kind of follow along. So we'll start from the very back. We'll go to these, which 2 modular frames. 2 modular frames per second. And then next, these are going to create only 3 reinforced plating, which means these, because they originally create 5, but we only need 3. So these are going to run at 60%. And as you can see on here, there's a clock speed, so I can determine how quickly these will actually produce, which saves on power. That's kind of the goal here, is saving on power and not using more than we really need to in order to create these factories. So boom, 3 and 3, which means that this needs 18 iron plates and 36 screws per minute. Now, this is going to be making screws. It originally creates 40 screws per minute, but we are going to underclock it down to 90%, which will create 36 screws per minute. We'll do the same for this one. Screws, what did I say? 90%? Yeah, 90%. Boom, 36 screws per minute. And so then here are this is for iron plating. Yep, yeah, we need iron plating. And these are going to run at, I'm just going to run at some percentage. I believe it's also 90%. 18, yep. So it'll take 18 per minute. And that 18 goes into here because it takes 18. Hot dang. And we'll do the same with, nope, not that one, this one. Iron plates. So 90% right here. Here we go. 18 per minute. Now these middle ones are creating iron rods, and it creates 15 iron rods per minute, and we need 10. We need 9 iron rods. So these are going to be underclocked to 60%. Take 0 there, 9 per minute. And then iron rods, 60%, 9 per minute. And I know that's a low percentage, but I just want to keep this part of the factory as efficient as possible, and then whatever is left that we aren't using in terms of iron ingots goes into the second part of the factory. So that way the second part is most efficient it probably can be, and also probably could increase as many percents to 100 and move everything up. But that was a lot of math, and I didn't feel like trying to figure that out. So I'm just going to stick with what I have here. So these are also producing iron rods, which are going to be clocked at 80% to make 12 iron rods per minute, as that is what the modular frame needs. It takes 12 per minute. So did I get that one and this one? I believe I did. Yes, I did. So then these are iron plates. This one is also iron rods, which again is at 80% production rate for 12. And so that is that. That's how that works. We'll just, excuse me, I need to get to our conveyor belts. Let's connect our conveyor belts. I believe that'll just connect right there. Not directly in line, that's okay. This one will then go right here. Boom to there. Boom to there. And then we'll just connect these before I forget. I can see, because there's so much freaking red. My goodness gracious. There and there. I don't know why I took the ladder. Don't ask me. And then there to there. There to there. And then we need to finally bring our iron rods in, which are going to, yeah, just pretty easily angle in. I'm not too worried about conveyor belts and them showing right now, because I'm not sure how permanent these factories are. They're just kind of get to where we can have those bigger factories, sort of thing. And then those would look a lot better than what we're making right now. But just for time's sake and development through the game, that's what's going on. So on this side, what's going on with these constructors? That is a great question. Oh boy. We actually need some more constructors. We need one more constructor to go right in front of this one, which I believe is producing screws. Yeah, so this will produce iron rods. This one will produce screws. This one produces the iron plates. Then we will need an assembler, which is a goody thing. Yes. Line me up there. I like that. And this one's creating the reinforced plating, iron plates, yada yada yada. I don't know if I have how much these use, because this takes 30 and 15, so 45 should be fine. If anything, we'll just take from our other impure node and shove them into there. Then, yeah, we'll figure it out. That'll be beyond. That's beyond the main part of this factory. I just want to focus on this main part, and the rest of it we'll just do some behind the scenes, because yeah, it's easier that way. So all our constructors are in place along with the modular frame, assemblers, everything that way. So next up is just transferring all the iron in and out. So I will get back to you when that is done, because it's going to be a lot of crisscrossing and making sure iron does get spread evenly throughout all of these basically. So yeah, see you then. All right, so I believe I have everything ready in place. I added all the splitters and everything, yada yada yada, from the 2 extractors. They pump 60 per minute, which is then 30 and 15 and yada 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 yada. But all the iron is going to be produced into these, which hopefully eventually it all splits out evenly among the 9 constructors with this absolute chaos of a splitting system. I really hope it works. It should work. I don't know though. But anyway, because it should like back itself up all the way until the first one can finally just send it, and then it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It might take a long time for it to actually all work, but that's okay. But otherwise, everything is lined up. All that's left to do is connect to the power. I also, for the final output, there are, if you kind of see them over there, there are, well, I guess I'll just come out here. There's 3 containers. The far ones for all the modular frames, I believe is what they're called. Yep. The middle one is for iron plating, or reinforced iron plating. It's whatever it's called. And the final one's just for normal iron plating. And that's this last one. That is for all the excess iron that is being used. Everything should be efficient in terms of production. So yeah, that'll be nice. Except for the smelters. I didn't change the percentages on those because I think it'll be fine. So last thing to do is to connect our power to our supply, which might be a little bit of a ways. That's okay. We could probably connect it to down here. I don't want to do that just for the fun of it. And then shaboom. And that should be, let's see if it's all connected. Yep, it's all connected. You see we have a giant power spike now, or uptick in power. And let's go take a look to make sure our mines are running, iron is pumping, and everything is all good and dandy. Yep, there we go. Iron coming in this way. This will feed directly into this one because this will take... Oh, I didn't... I didn't go through all the smelters. Well, thank goodness I checked these. Otherwise, that would have been a bit embarrassing if we would have realized that we weren't actually producing any iron ingots. Yeah, that would have been no good. I mean, all these could probably go to 50 and that final one stay on 100. That's kind of how it lines up. I'll do that real quick while the iron gets to here. All right, and our final 2 smelters are just about to get powered up. They're about to start powering. Boom. And shaboom. Look at that. And then there's 1 iron ingot. There's another one. There's a few more. There's a bunch more. Awesome. So again, right now, these aren't efficiently working. But that's okay. There's no biggie there. It'll all eventually back up. And then eventually, by the time it gets to this final one, it'll be perfectly created. It'll be perfect. It should just be absolutely perfect. No flaws whatsoever. Never ever any flaws. So that is our modular frame factory, doing a lot of cool things, making modular frames 4 per minute, a whole 4 modular frames per minute. Hi bud. You can also bounce off the jelly beans. I think I take fall damage. Yep, I do. All right. So in between this episode and next episode, I will make this look all nice and neat, give it a nice frame around it, do some architectural stuff, have a little fun with it, and then you will just get to see the product. Because I don't think you want to... Well, I don't know. If you ever want to watch me actually create the like cool designs of the factories from here on out, let me know, and I'll figure out a way to do that. But I don't want to just spend all of the episodes, my goodness, I'm talking really fast, just showing you me just building around it. I want to actually show you how to make the factories. So that is... What the hell is all this? What is this? So that was our modular frame factory. Next up, we have our... Oh, actually, yeah. Next up, sorry. I was thinking of something. We have our reinforced plating factory, which... I don't know where that's going to be. That might have been these two nodes right here that we accidentally took from. So I have to rethink that one. That one I'm going to hold off right now. If I do figure out what I want to do with that, we'll do it next episode, because we're already close on time here, and if not, we are overtime. Copper factory. The reason I have that written down is because I realized last episode I said we were going to make a copper factory right behind this iron ingot factory. There's a copper deposit right here, and we were supposed to make a factory from there, and we just never did. So I wanted to address that and tell you that I will make a factory there. It'll pretty much look like all the other factories that we've been doing, and kind of like this one down here, one with the copper and making copper sheets, and holy cow, do I have enough copper sheets now. So yeah, that's what that'll be. Next up is the Caterium factory. Yeah, look at this. Look at all these copper sheets. It's ridiculous. Next up, we have our Caterium factory. So I went ahead and found a Caterium deposit. And Caterium is what we used in the MAM to unlock Quicksilver, or first Caterium ingots, and then Quicksilver. I believe it's Quicksilver. But it's just used in further upgrades, and we will use it when we make our highway. But I haven't actually looked at Caterium in front of all of you. So this is what it looks like. This is where it is. Caterium. This is a pure deposit. And we're going to do a factory from this Caterium. Now it takes, it produces 120 per minute. And I need to go grab my resources. But basically, it produces, that's going to hurt. Yep. Produces 120 per minute. It creates, Switch will create 120 Caterium ingots, which will then go into 8 constructors to create Quicksilver. And each constructor only takes 15 Caterium ingots, which is very low. And since we're only using it for Quicksilver, it's pretty easy, because then the Quicksilver, well, okay, so it takes, the constructors take 15 Caterium and pop out 40 Quicksilver per minute. The turnaround on that is absolutely incredible. So yeah, we're just gonna have a crap ton of Quicksilver being made. We're gonna go from 0 to, let's do the math here, 4 times 8 is whoa, 320 Quicksilver being created per minute. That's a lot of Quicksilver. And again, that's going to be used for a road. So that'll be really nice when we actually need it. But we'll create the factory in this episode, so that way you can actually see what the Caterium factory will look like. Okay, so Caterium. We'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll do 1 on this side. So I believe... No, we're going to run into the rock there. We'll remove that one. And then we will just go make a final one over there. Shaboom, shaboom. Awesome, awesome. So this Caterium factory, oh, that's Quicksilver. Again, it's for our highway. Now. Okay, what do I want to do here? Well, it's just smelters and constructors. So this should be enough space, and then we'll just merge it all to one spot right here. As I'm doing this, I kind of want to explain what's going to happen from here on out. So, just get this started. We have a bunch of factories that we're going to be making throughout this whole series. And I'm not necessarily talking large-scale factories, although we will have those. But a majority of kind of this first part is going to be a bunch of small factories, kind of like I've been making on each node. That's kind of the plan I wanted to go with. This is on each of these nodes we'll have our own little factories. Now this I should say these first factories that we're making are exceptions because we need the materials from them, and we don't actually have any way to transport the ingots or the raw materials to anywhere otherwise, or besides conveyor belts. And so what I want to have happen is at each of these mining posts, we'll take the ingots, we'll smelter them into whatever they need. But I know when steel comes around, that'll be a little different. But why am I doing that? Jeez. So then we will take the ingots and bring them all to a central location for that resource. So like all the iron deposits will have their own mini factories, and then we'll have roads connecting all of those, so that way we can have tractors going on those roads. And then the roads will all lead to a single point, like a central area, or just a single base, so to say, that will house the specific material. So like all the iron will be produced into ingots, and then those ingots will go to a central location where that will just house ingots. And so that way, whenever we need a factory for so many ingots, we can then take from the central ingot facility and transport it to the new factory. And that way we're not making these massive factories with just huge logistics and everything that way. Everything can kind of be... Why am I... Oh, you see me over there. Jeez Louise. He's not going to make his way around to me, is he? He shouldn't. But anyway, I digress. And then those resources can all be, again, transferred throughout the map to wherever they're needed, which just makes things a little easier. It's a lot of front-end work of making the highways and making these central facilities for everything, but once we have all that created, it makes advancing throughout the levels or throughout the tiers a lot easier, because we're not having to go back through factories and upgrade and everything that way. We might have to go to each kind of like production, or each single node sort of thing, to upgrade the mines and then expand the smelters, like doubling them or stuff that way. So that might have to happen later on, but the work it takes for that is not nearly as much as upgrading a whole facility, a whole central, just massive factory, which I know people run into and is a common thing with this game. So I wanted to try to find my own personal workaround, and we are just going to see how it works. I'm not positive that it will work well or that it'll be worth it, but that's why we are going to try it, and we're going to test this whole new strategy of mine and just see how it works. But again, that's kind of why I'm doing these tiny little factories everywhere, and why it's like, why are you not bringing it all? There's a reason behind it all, and that'll come when we kind of get through these next couple of tiers. So I really didn't do much. I just made these constructors. He's really mad at me. But yeah, this is the Caterium factory. Again, Caterium ingots. Oh, it takes 45 per minute. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, so that changes a lot of things. Well, we'll have to figure that out. I don't know how that's going to work. That splits this in half. Maybe we can overclock this. We might try to do that. I don't think we can. We don't have the logistics for that. But we'll be ready for when we can. We'll do it that way. We'll be ready for when this upgrades. We have our smelters. We'll be ready. But anyway, this takes in 45 per minute, produces 15 Caterium ingots, and then those 15 are going to be put into Quickwire, which only takes 12 per minute. Holy cow. Okay, that changes things. But we're gonna have to do what we did over at the reinforced, or the modular factory over there, and basically do it here. That's going to be a lot of fun. Whoop-de-doo. Thank frickin' goodness we're doing this. Oh boy. Only takes 12. What does that require here? 36. That still is not enough. 30. Oh my gosh, we made way too many. Holy cow. I hope y'all figured that math out before I did. Jeez Louise, we did that so wrong. That's okay. Again, we'll figure all this out. But this is what I just wanted to show you this Caterium before I made the factory for it and thought I could make the factory, which didn't work out very well. And I'm really babbling on here in this episode, which is going to make it really long, but that's okay. I hope you don't mind it. But that's kind of the plan from here on out. Well, what's going to happen in between these episodes now is, I actually have it written down on my to-do list over here on the right. So there's going to be a cement factory being made because there's a limestone node really close by to the orange box factory over there. So that's going to be made. It's nothing fancy, just like the other one that we made. We have done the reinforced plating, or we need to do the reinforced plating factory. Figure that out. Then we have the copper factory, which we will do. Again, nothing fancy. We made our modular frame factory, and we're working on our Caterium mine factory. And then, again, between episodes, I did all these notes. This is awesome. Where cement and other factories are going to be made. We're also going to put a shed on the copper sheet factory. Oh, yeah. So this factory that's like straight down here, we'll put a shed over it, along with all of our other factories. I don't know why I made a special note for that. And then in episode 12, so next episode, we are going to use our awesome tickets. We have a bunch of them because I've been shoving all our excess resources into there because we've been making a lot of resources. And then we'll unlock and create a steel factory for you all. So that's why I'm like doing all these factories in between, because we just need the resources to further advance our way through this game. I want to do it at a decent pace and not bore you with all these tiny factories. So what I'll do is next episode, I am going to walk you through all the new factories. I think that's a healthy thing to do. So we'll go through all the new factories on the map and just in general in person, at least for a while, in terms of a couple episodes, or until we get so gosh darn many that it doesn't really matter. And then we will go from there and start on our steel production. So this is going to be a long episode. That's okay. I don't mind. I hope you don't mind either. But anyway, we will see you all in the next one. And yeah, I hope you have a good one. Bye.